Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of your Daily Five. I'm Leslie Jouflas, and Trading Live Online is my website. It's an educational website for traders. Um, I was looking back at the charts that I put on my last Daily Five guest spot, and that was on October 25th. So that was only a week ago. So I thought, well, let's take a look at those since they're so fresh and let's see how they've done. And I'm going to add one more in today. So last week we looked at the indexes, and then we also particularly took a good look at the Dow Jones Industrial, GE, IBM, and Schlumberger. And so we're going to add one more of a Dow stock on today that I think is showing quite a bit of strength. And we're going to look at a longer term chart of that. But first, I also want to quickly just go through some of the tech giants that I had first shown on back in April on your daily five so that you can see a comparison how those are doing today versus what we're going to look at in this segment. So let's get right to the charts. There's a lot to go through today. Okay, so here's the tech giants that we're going to look at today to do a follow-up. So it was way back in way back in April, way back over here before they broke here. And so Google is still in a downtrend. Things are still looking weak on the scooter that StockCharts has for relative strength. My RSI is still looking bearish. It's not looking bullish. Everything is still looking to the downside with that. Amazon is really interesting. I think this should be watched pretty closely. This is that trend line. This is that long-term trend line on Amazon. You can see the big long sideways, the break out of it, retest, and it's just been sort of hovering, testing close to this trend line the last week or so. So again, we're not seeing, in comparison to some of the Dow stocks that we looked at, especially the ones last week, these have 180-degree different perspective. So here's Amazon. This is just a little bit shorter time frame, and it's just highlighting some of these support and resistance areas. Apple has actually been the strongest of the selection of these particular tech giants. And so I would keep an eye on Apple for signs of maybe continuing bullishness and perhaps a buy pattern will develop. And I will be watching that as well. So it's got to really get back above for super bullish, back above this upward sloping channel line here. You can see where the break was here back in April, May when I first did this, and then retest up there and back down. But notice how Apple did not break to new lows like many stocks did in indexes. So that's also a sign of strength. Applied Materials has had, it had a big decline, over 50% decline from its highs, but recently it's had a bounce off of the lows. But it's not still not looking extremely bullish to me. It looks like this might be just a bit of a rally here. So we'll keep an eye on that. And Facebook, going over these charts, every time I reviewed them, I said this, it just is not going anywhere. The other ones that rallied up and tested those broken support areas, Facebook hasn't even done that. It just keeps plummeting. And look, from a $384 dollar high down to 93. That's just really uh, just absolutely slammed on that. But, again, going back to here, pattern recognition is going to help. Now, not that you necessarily can predict this price. I see there are some ways we could have done a few price targets, but that is such a severe decline on that. So, but it's still not looking like signs of life yet. So, Microsoft, yeah, it's just still it's had a bit of a rally here. This is looking on a weekly chart. Uh, So we'll keep an eye on this to see if there's, if things start to perk up. But other than Apple, I'm not seeing a lot of bullishness in any of these. And so again, I just want to use these as a comparison for what we're going to look at on the Dow Jones Industrial now. Here's the daily chart of the Dow Jones Industrials that I've had a lot of different things drawn in over here over the last year or so, even prior to that. Bearish patterns up here, more bearish buy pattern, etc. And you can see where the test of that trend line was. The market got overextended here when it just popped above it and then fell right back down. So it was just it had used up a lot of the gas tank to do this big rally test that it just couldn't quite hold on. But now we're back up to this trend line again. But what I'm noticing is the RSI right now is back up almost to this previous high here. And the MACD, you can see the MACD level is actually higher than it was back here. So there's some more momentum happening in the Dow Jones Industrial. Right now, with the close from today on the daily, there's a I'm sorry, feel free to correct me on the pronunciation. I just always see it spelled. In case you're wondering, it's spelled Harami, and it's a candle pattern that has two candles. The first one is this one is a bullish candle, open, closes near the highs and the lows. And then the next one is a doji, a spinning top or some type of doji, which is what we have here. So this pattern is known as a reversal pattern, but really you have to see it get below this low here. So this would be the low to watch. And maybe that just causes a pullback. Japanese candle patterns don't give price targets. They just tell you I'm a reversal pattern, I'm a continuation pattern, I'm a bullish pattern, I'm a bearish pattern, I'm a neutral pattern, but it doesn't tell you exactly where price is going. So we have to use other technical tools for that. So FOMC meeting is this week, so I think it's not too surprising that we see a bit of a pause here. I think getting above here is going to be a bullish signal, and the Dow might be able to get back up into these levels here and test. So let's look at some individual stocks on the Dow Jones Industrial because this is where a lot of strength is right now. Okay, so GE is one of the stocks that I had last week on October 25th on your daily five, and that was looking strong to me. It was just about right here where I've got this horizontal trend line, just marking about where the 25th was, and it's had a run up since then, but it's right in a resistance area right here. But I think watching this for a pullback for a buy pattern is kind of what you want to be looking for right now. The scooter, look at how the scooter has climbed up into the bullish area with this last rally. And look at the RSI, how that's also climbed up into the bullish territory. The MACD is also showing momentum there. So again, I think watching the ones I'm showing today, if they're already a bit extended, be watching for areas of pullback. IBM was one that I presented also on October 25th, and the horizontal line is just showing about where the 25th was. It didn't get a pullback from there. It's still, up. It's testing these previous high levels here. IBM is actually in a very large um, coiling sideways pattern. And here's what it looks like on a monthly chart. So you can see this all the way back from, 2013. It's been in this big, huge, enormous range, and now it's coming up and challenging the previous highs on here. If I had to make a dollar bet, I would say that, I mean, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but I'm going to put myself out on a limb at exactly the point where you can hear the limb cracking and say that IBM is likely to make new highs. So again, back to the daily chart on IBM is, looks like it might be a bit overextended here as it does some testing. It might do some back and forth, but I would be watching for a buy pattern on this. So Schlumberger was also presented on October 25th. And again, this does look, strong to me. The scooter is up here in the bullish zone. Notice how even when it had this pullback, it did not make new price lows. It held, made a higher low here, and now it's in a trending mode to the upside. The RSI is in, very bullish position up here, and we can see the MACD also has momentum highs. So that one also, if Schlumberger pulled back, has come up, if it does not exceed this high, but it comes back down and makes a swing about equal to this, maybe a little bit longer, maybe somewhat back into this level here, then that would be an ABCD buy pattern, and that would be a potential entry into this on the long side, because I'm only showing you things that I see with strength other and the comparison of what we see with those big tech giants. I think it's really remarkable. A Caterpillar is the one I'm adding in today after reviewing the ones from a week ago. And let's just take a look at the monthly chart on Caterpillar. Then you guys can do some homework if you want to scale down time frames. But you can see since 2009, you can see the uptrend. Look at the sideways consolidation, sort of similar to what we're seeing on IBM. And then the uptrend continues. Another sideways movement, uptrend continues. We can look at the length of these swings here. They're pretty similar after these consolidation periods. This one's just a little bit longer. But if Caterpillar comes up and makes a new high, I would kind of be using these to sort of project some price targets. But it is still in an uptrend. It has not broken that uptrend since 2009. And again, now we've got a big, large white candle. I think this is called a Marubozu candle in Japanese candlesticks terminology. And again, the highs up here, I'm going to bet another dollar that we see new highs in Caterpillar. The RSI down here is looking strong. And let's take a look. Interesting. The MACD. Now, this is something to keep an eye on. The MACD has not, but this is a monthly chart. So let's think about this for a second. The MACD has not, in this consolidation, has not risen above the zero line. However, if Caterpillar is able to come up and blast through here and make new highs, and the momentum is coming up with it, that could turn into a pretty powerful move, I think. So that's it. That's what I have for you today. I hope everybody's doing great. Welcome to November, and I'll talk to you soon on another Your Daily 5.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.